Could XRP slip out of reach? That's the big question buzzing all over social media, and we're diving straight into it in this video. Is there a future where snagging XRP becomes nearly impossible? What does being priced out actually mean? And what could that look like in real dollars? Stick around as we break it all down, unpack the hype, and explore whether getting priced out of XRP is just a myth or a real possibility. You don't want to miss this. Hey everyone, we've got some exciting updates coming your way, including a timeline for the XRP ETF reveal, so stick around until the end of the video for that. First, let's dive into something a lot of people are talking about, getting priced out of XRP. What does that even mean? Some think it means XRP could hit a point where it's no longer affordable to buy, but let me tell you why I don't see that happening. Here's the deal. There will always be someone willing to sell XRP no matter the price. People set targets like $10. And when XRP hits that, they're ready to cash out. Right now, there are sellers at the current price, and there will be sellers at $10 beyond. So the idea of being completely priced out, not likely. There's always XRP to go around, but will there be sellers at $100? I'd say yes. Many watching this might think if XRP hits $100, I'd sell mine. And at even higher prices, of course, there will always be someone ready to part with a slice of their XRP stash for the right offer. That's the beauty of markets. There's always a buyer, always a seller. XRP will continue changing hands, no matter the price. That's just how it works. But let's dive into what it really means to be priced out. This term has been buzzing all over social media lately, sparking debates. For me, being priced out is less about the price tag and more about the availability of units. When XRP becomes harder to get your hands on, that's where it gets interesting. Let's explore what priced out could truly mean. People keep throwing around the term priced out, but no one really stops to define what it means. Can you actually get priced out? Some say yes, some say no. Here's the thing, I don't see it happening with XRP, not in the sense of being outright unable to buy it. If that were to happen, it would likely be due to regulations like a rule stating you can't purchase XRP because of X, Y, or Z. But honestly, that's not a realistic scenario in my eyes. Now, let's talk about how you can feel priced out. A higher token price can become a barrier to certain activities. Take Ethereum, for example. To stake on the Ethereum chain, you need 10 ETH. Back when prices were low, that was easy. But now, for many, that price tag feels like a locked door. So being priced out might not mean you can't buy in. It could just mean the cost of participating becomes too steep. With Ethereum's current price, staking has become a tall order for many, pricing people out entirely. Enter the XRP ledger, a much more affordable alternative. The reserve requirement is just 0.5 XRP, with small amounts needed for activities like trust lines and other features. Back when I started accumulating XRP, it was dirt cheap, so I loaded up. Now I can create trust lines and reserves without breaking a sweat. But for newcomers, it's a different game. As the value of XRP climbs, your dollars don't stretch as far, making it tougher to participate in the ecosystem's native features. In my view, rising XRP prices are pricing people out of the ledger's core functionalities. Why? Because every transaction is denominated in XRP. And as the unit value grows, so does the barrier to entry. The more units you hold, the greater your influence over the underlying chain. My perspective on being priced out of XRP ties directly to the power one wields in this emerging system. This new financial framework built on the XRP ledger is entirely centered around XRP. Think about it just like in the US financial system, where the more dollars you control, the more influence you have. The same principle applies to the XRP ledger. The more XRP you own, the more leverage and impact you gain. While it might not translate to direct voting power, it grants significant economic influence in this evolving system. And here's the key: the cheaper you can accumulate XRP now, the more substantial your position will be in the future. Let's dive into the XRP rich list. Now, I'm not sure how up to date this is, but it's worth sharing. With XRP being practically free right now, it wouldn't take much to land yourself in the top 2%. Imagine that, becoming a whale on the network. The possibilities would be endless. You'd have the power to dominate liquidity pools, influence markets, and explore opportunities that smaller holders could only dream of. Sure, we're not debating the ethics here, but the perks would be undeniable. Exclusive services and partnerships would suddenly become available, doors that might stay shut for those with fewer tokens. The power and potential are yours to unlock. Imagine partnering with top-tier traders, professionals, futures experts, and arbitrage masters who could craft custom strategies just for you. Why? Because they see the amount of XRP you hold and recognize the potential to create something tailored and impactful. In this evolving financial system, your XRP holdings aren't just a number, they're your firepower. And as XRP's price rises, acquiring more becomes increasingly challenging, making your existing holdings even more valuable. Now, picture a world where there's no distinction, where someone with just one XRP is treated the same as someone holding 100,000 or even 100 million XRP. In that scenario, the playing field is perfectly level and my argument falls apart. But that's not how I envision this system evolving. Nearly every financial system out there has some form of minimum requirement. And let's face it, those with more assets often get an advantage over those with less. It might feel unfair, but that's just the way the world tends to operate. Now, here's the interesting part. If you're buying XRP when its price is low, your dollars stretch further. You'll end up with more XRP compared to someone spending the same amount of cash when the price is higher. Imagine this. You're able to stretch your dollars further, turning them into a larger stash of XRP than someone else. That extra XRP gives you access to more opportunities because you hold more of the underlying token. Essentially, you've unlocked a greater level of influence within the network. Now, someone jumping in later when XRP is priced higher finds their dollars don't stretch as far, they accumulate less XRP, which limits their ability to participate in certain market activities. It's like being priced out of the game. While the future of these systems is still uncertain, one thing seems clear: becoming a major holder, a whale, on these networks could unlock exclusive opportunities that smaller holders simply can't access. That's just how many of these ecosystems operate right now. Case in point, I can't stake on XDC because I don't hold enough of the token. Those who grab the token at launch, no matter the price, are in luck. As for me, I'm out of the XDC staking game. It's just gotten out of reach. I'm not here to complain though. Fair or not, that's just the way these systems run, isn't it? The native token is keen. It's the foundation of it all. The more of it you hold, the more influence you wield. For the first time, it's not about measuring wealth in US dollars, right? It's no longer about how many dollars you hold. It's about how much of the underlying token you own. The more of that token you have, the greater your influence, the more opportunities that unlock for you. As XRP climbs higher and becomes harder to acquire, you might find yourself priced out of certain market opportunities. Not entirely, of course, you'll still be able to own XRP, but some doors that were wide open earlier might start to close if you didn't stock up when prices were lower. Back then, your dollars stretched further, letting you claim a larger piece of these revolutionary networks' economic building blocks. All right, I know that was a lot to unpack and I probably missed some key points along the way, but hey, it's an interesting topic worth diving into. I've been noticing the term priced out popping up everywhere lately. But here's the thing. What does that actually mean? People keep saying you're priced out, but my question is, priced out of what exactly? That's how I see it. Maybe it's just my perspective, my own little thesis, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it too. Before wrapping this up, I want to leave you with something exciting, a big development that's sure to catch a lot of attention. It seems the SEC just approved brand new NASDAQ pricing data for Solana, ADA, XLM, and XRP. This is incredibly exciting because it signals a major step forward. Pricing data is now being brought in to pave the way for the approval of ETFs already under review. To me, this suggests the timeline for these ETFs could be moving up significantly. It seems like the SEC is saying, all right, we're ready. Let's prep these ETFs and get them ready to launch. With around 13 XRP ETFs set to go live, here's the big question. Will people get priced out of buying as much XRP once these ETFs launch? It's hard to say for sure, but here's my take. Those who wait might miss the boat on acquiring the same amount of XRP they can buy now. Think about it. Those who bought XRP at $2, chasing the same units that others secured at 17 cents. And those early buyers, they were chasing the stash of people who got in at half a penny, acquiring the same level of economic influence on the XRP ledger in USD terms is becoming a challenge compared to what was possible in the past. But here's the exciting part. ETFs are about to change the game. In my view, they're set to usher in a whole new wave of investors. This next wave won't just trickle in, they'll dive in. purchasing XRP like we've never seen before. The doors of accessibility are about to be blown wide open. These ETFs will create opportunities for investors that simply didn't exist before. For the first time, it feels like the SEC is fully aligned to make this a reality. The infrastructure is falling into place, paving the way for an XRP ETF to go live. My prediction, by mid to late summer, these ETFs will launch. And when they do, we'll witness trading volumes on XRP like never before. Get ready. Things are about to heat up. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this update.